Welcome to Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst Professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we're going to go a little bit different. We're going to do an unscripted episode here today, one where I just kind of chat about thoughts on a topic and see where it takes me and see what happens. And hopefully in the end, there's some good information for you to glean from this episode, if you will. Now, what I've chosen kind of for today's topic really is the summer of self-discovery. I mean, I look outside and I look around and it's summertime here, and it's also a time I think that's a little more freeing to look at yourself. Excuse me there. And I always find like it's much more open during the summer, and that might just be me, one of those things that I enjoy. But I find the wintertime a little too closed. We got a lot of clouds here and stuff, and it's not a lot of sun. And so I don't find myself, kind of looking inward, if you will. I'm finding out what makes me tick more during the winter as I do in the summer. And, when it comes down to self-discovery, especially as you're coming through the divorce process and you're going to be on your own, it's important to really take care of yourself. I mean, self being the key word, but selfish is not part of self-discovery. Taking time for yourself is not selfish. It's one of those necessary parts that you need to continue to grow as a person. And you really want to grow in the right direction where you do things you enjoy. I mean, you might have put some things on hold during your marriage. Or your kids might be grown now and you get a chance to do some things on your own. So when it's all said and done, working on yourself is a positive thing. Now, during the summer, I mean, there's all sorts of host of things you can do. Everything from trying new foods, eating outdoors, meeting up with friends, chatting with them. And speaking of friends, I mean, if you have an interest with a friend that you want to do together, that's great. If they have a hobby or an interest that they're trying to get you to do, but you don't see any real fun in that for you, then don't do it. And as you work through yourself and what you have going on and what you enjoy versus don't enjoy, you make a list. I think knowing what you don't enjoy is just as important as knowing what you do enjoy. And that is because then you don't have to do things that don't make you happy, that don't bring you fulfillment. Stick to the list where you enjoy all those things. And it doesn't mean you got to do it all the time. It can be a one and done kind of thing for once a year. Maybe it's a once a year activity. Maybe it's something that you do quarterly. Perhaps it's with a group. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just with your friends. Maybe you're on your own learning new things and stuff. I mean, nobody said you couldn't go places by yourself. I mean, I've been to the zoo by myself. I've been to sporting events by myself, movies by myself. I think it's important that you embrace being by yourself and that you can be happy by yourself. You don't actually have to be with another individual to be happy. And whether that's a romantic relationship or just a friendship, it doesn't matter. It's just be happy with who you are. And then life in general is going to feel more fulfilling. So I hope you got a little something out of today's episode of self-discovery. It's never clear or straightforward, and I think it's good to let the mind wander. So get outside, sit in the sun, sit in the shade, sit on a park bench, and figure out, a little bit more about yourself. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. If you've got any questions, let me know. I say it all the time, but I mean it. And leave a comment. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, have a great summer.